How to start outsourcing. 3 essential things you must have in place to make sure it's a success. Yes, you have decided that you need to start outsourcing. I am thrilled for you. But before you begin, make sure you watch this video because I'm covering the 3 most important things to have in place to make sure you get the best return of your investment. Hi, I'm Sky. I'm a leadership mentor and team consultant, and I work with online entrepreneurs who want to stop struggling doing everything themselves and build a business for freedom. Now, you have decided that outsourcing is going to be a next step, and I am so thrilled. However, I often hear of people who say, I outsourced Sky, but it was no good. Someone let me down. It didn't go to plan. There was no point, so I just took it back and did it myself anyway. And I'm like, no! Just by doing these 3 things in this video today, I am gonna help you remove the risk of that being you, because I want this to be a success for you. I don't want you to be the doer in the business all the time with the whole thing revolving around you. And by outsourcing, you are building a business beyond you, and that's how we get freedom. So how can we do it? We need to do 3 things: knowing what you need, doing your research, and a clear agreement. Let me go through these. Firstly, knowing what you need. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? You said you needed help, but so often, having worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs in this position, people realize oh, but what am I gonna get them to do? Well, I want you to decide that before you take that first step. Evaluate where you're spending your time. What things are you doing right now that you're not going to do in the future? There's a whole other exercise I've got coming up in a later video. But right now, think of maybe the top 5 things you want them to remove from your to-do list, and maybe create something like a task brief for them so they've got a specific job that they are going to take on their shoulders, not yours. Evaluate how much time is that going to save you? How long do you think it's going to take them? And then work through what the cost of that could be. So if you, for example, have got 10 hours worth of administration, social media, answering emails, come up with a list of 5, and that came to 10 hours. What with that 10 hours, what are you willing to invest? Let's say you're paying someone for £25 an hour, £250 worth. What are you going to do with those 10 hours you're going to free up? How are you going to spend them in your business? Because if you're going to spend them on something that's going to create you more than £250 worth of income, it's a good investment. And I want you to think like this from the start. So you're not just seeing it as a cost, you're seeing it as an opportunity. But first, you need to know exactly what you need them to do. So start with 5 tasks. Point 2, I want you to do your research. Again, too often I just hear someone needs a virtual assistant and they just literally speak to one person and start working with them straight away. Yes, if it doesn't work out, you can move on, but ultimately that wastes a lot of time, and again, don't want that for you. So spend a little bit of time at the start getting referrals, doing some interviews, seeing if they're the right fit for you. Do they have the skills you need? Do they have the attitude of someone you want to work with? Do they have the hours available you require in your business? And then it's absolutely fine to ask them for references. Ask them to speak to other clients who've worked with them. But you need to do your research. Don't just jump in there with the first person that someone Flossie's sister's brother, cousin mentioned was good. Do your research, because what might be good for one person might not suit your needs. And you need to be really clear on that. So point 2 is do your research. Then thirdly, have a clear agreement. Now, I'm not asking you to get some posh lawyer, come up with a 10-page confidentiality agreement and everything else. Let's keep things simple. What are you wanting from them? How do you want to communicate? What are the results you want to see? Let's be really clear. Take out the grey. I don't like grey, black and white. This is what I need. These within the time frames, this is what the cost's going to be. And then you can both be clear on both sides whether that's something you both want and can deliver and what the outcomes are you want to achieve. Yes, get a NDA or a confidentiality agreement drawn up if that is your requirements for your business. But make sure just to start with, what's the expectation and how are you going to communicate and follow up? So often I see a misalignment here, and that can lead to real troubles later down the track. So what are the 3 things you need to have in place? You need to know what tasks you're delegating. You need to do your research before asking someone to come into your business, and you need to have a clear agreement, making sure you're on the same page and you're both happy at knowing what the outcome is you're wanting to achieve. If you do those 3 things, if you take the time now to put them in place before you bring someone into your business or outsource, then I can assure you, you are going to be set up for success. Let me know, what's the first thing you're going to be outsourcing in your business? And if you've enjoyed this video, why don't you hit subscribe? Because I would love to share more about outsourcing and team growth for your business success. It's time to stop doing everything in our business and struggling and build a business beyond you. Thank you.